Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from glorious Goodwood Racecourse here on Tuesday. It is the 28th of July, 2020. We're going to look at almost all the races here on day one of glorious Goodwood, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me the rest of the week for some more glorious Goodwood previews. But it's day one of the meeting. Excellent card. We're going to look at almost all the races except the 7th race to 420. Very tough two-year-old race. So we're going to skip over that. Let's get to the opener, the 110 from Goodwood, which is the EBF Phillips Handicap. It's Class 3 Phillies Handicap going for a purse of $22,500. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Phillies mares only. Horses rated 76 to 95. 12 horses are going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. My top selection, we'll take the 4-horse Angel Power. We'll go 483 in the tri-cash trifecta. 483 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection of 4-horse Angel Power. This 3-year-old filly by Lupe de Vega. Sylvester de Sousa gets them out for Roger Varian. Most recently, they ran the horse 24th of June at Haydock on good ground, 1 mile in a Class 3 handicap. Facing the boys, she ran a very good race, finished second by a neck. She kept going, she quickened up easily, she sat towards the front end. I thought it was a very good race second off the break. 2 back against the fillies in a Class 5 fillies novice race at Chelmsford, 1 mile June the 8th. She won by 1 3/4 lengths there, and she probably could have won by a lot more, but Sylvester Sousa off the front end, she was out by a lot. She quickened up easy. That was a very good comeback to the races. And then before that, in her debut at Newmark on the 2nd November, 7 furlong soft ground Class 4 fillies novice, finished third by 4 3/4 lengths. She never quickened up, but she never weakened out of it either. The 2 in front of her were much the best though, but she needed the race basically for the experience. With every single race, I thought she'd been getting better and better. Even with the loss last time out, I thought she gained a lot. She's run very well here today. It's 7-2. I think she's a very likely winner, so let's take her. Plays pot scenario, the 8-horse Vividly for William Buick ran a crap race the last two. 2 back, I think the soft ground really got to him, but on faster ground, back to good where this horse has his only victory. I think at 8-1, you have to use him in the place pot, or her on the place pot. But to recap my selection for the 110, the first race from glorious Goodwood, it's the EBF Phillies Handicap. Let's take the 4-horse Angel Power. Also give kudos to the 8-horse Vividly. We'll go 483 in the tri-cash trifecta, 4-8 in the place pot. Now the second race, to 145 from Goodwood, it is the Unibet Huron Handicap. It's a Class 2 handicap going for a purse $40,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 18 horses entered to go 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course, and I'm going to give you a tri-cast in 18 horse fields. I like to live dangerously on the edge. I'm going to go as a top selection though with the 3-horse 5th position. We'll go 3-12-1 in the tri-cast trifecta. 3-12-1 tri-cast trifecta. You don't have to play as a tri-cast. That's basically my top 3, so use the numbers as you wish, but my top selection is the 3-horse 5th position. Burial Gelding by Dark Angel. Andrea Tazzini's on this one for Roger Varian, so let's give Roger Varian the early double. Most recently, they ran the horse on the 18th of July at York, a mile and a quarter in a Class 2 handicap, and the horse finished third by 4 lengths. Probably would have won if the horse had a better poster. Was drawn stupid wide, 17 of 22, never could save ground, high weight, never quickened up. It just wasn't the day to win. Drawn a little bit towards the outside today again, but here on this turf course, she could afford to be on the outside. I think we'll get a better trip, and I think she's sitting on a good race, or he's sitting on a good race. 2 back, they ran the horse 14th of June at Doncaster, mile and a quarter in Class 2 handicap. And the horse won by length there. Second off the break, the horse basically won for fun, quickened up easily. Again, that was a very good race. And then before that, the horse ran at Newcastle, 1 mile June 2nd in Class 2 handicap. The horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths. Never quickened up and never weakened out of it. Sir Busker, though, who won, just ran that major race. Ran here last year in the Bottoms Thoroughbred Stakes, where he finished 5th by 4.5 lengths, and he really hit the wall that day. That was against some very tough horses. Coming here to a handicap, not so tough horses, should definitely get the mile and a quarter trip. And like I said, probably would have won at York last time out if he would have saved some more ground from that stupid wide poster. 7-1, I think he's a very likely winner, along with the 12-horse Restore at this 8-year-old Gelding by Master Craftsman. He's 21 here. Jim Crowley gets the mount. Most recently at Newbury, he won very nicely back in June in his seasonal reappearance. Coming here again, if he has a good race on the front end, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes wire to wire. 2 back at Chester last year, going a mile and a quarter. He had the speed, but he just couldn't quicken up late. But I thought it was a decent race. And then if you look at his races, then Midsummer last year at York, Haydock, York, and Ascot, those races he was just facing 2 tough horses. They took him down in class from Class 2s to Class 3 most recently, back to a Class 2 again today. I think those Class 3s were a good confidence builder. Coming to a Class 2 today, I think he's sitting on a good run also at 20-1. Definitely use him in your place pots. But to recap my selection for the second, the 145 from Glorious Goodwood. It's Unibet. You're on handicap. Let's go with the number 3 horse, 5th position as a top selection. We'll go 3-12-1 in the TriCash trifecta, 3-12 in the place pot. Let's get to the third race now. The 2:15, the third race from Goodwood. It is the Group 2 Vintage Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for a purse $66,500. Race for 2-year-olds here. 10 of them are going the 1,400-meter journey or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 10 horse, Youth Spirit. We'll go 10-1-6 in the TriCash trifecta. 10-1-6 TriCash trifecta. Top selection, 10 horse, Youth Spirit. This 2-year-old colt by Camelot. Ocean Murphy gets the mouth for Andrew Balding. Most recently, they ran the horse the 10th of July at Newmarket, 7 furlongs in a Class 3 main race, and the horse won by a length there. He was drawn very well that day on the stand side, and he had a great trip, got the lead, and guess what? He won. Because when you get the lead, you usually win, and especially late in the race like he did. It was an all-around good effort. 2 back, though, at Haydock on the 24th of June. He ran 7 furlongs on a Class 5 novice, and he finished 4th by 2 lengths there. Early on, he was very lackadaisical, not really concentrating on the run. He quickened up a little bit late. I think he needed the race for experience. But going with the second race, he really quickened up and, improved a lot. The Camelot says he wants to go the longer trip. He's getting a 7 furlong trip again here today. Shouldn't be a problem. An 8-1, I think he's a very likely winner, so let's take him. The 1-horse Battleground, this 2-year-old colt by Warfront, found his mare, so, this horse has some very good pedigrees here. Ryan Moore's on this one, Vander O'Brien. This horse is another very likely winner. Most recently ran the horse in Listed Stakes at Royal Ascot a few weeks ago over the 7 furlong trip, and the horse won by 2.5 lengths and probably could have won by more. It was a very easy race there, and then the debut at Nasto and a main race finished 5th by 2.5 lengths, and he ran okay, but he really showed a lot at Ascot last time out. Coming here again at even money, I think he's also a very likely winner, and this horse is gonna have a lot of eyes on him today with the Found on the dam side, because she was some damn good horse. But to recount my selection for the third, the 2:15 from Goodwood, it's the Group 2 Vintage. Let's take the 10 horse Youth Spirit. We'll also give kudos to the 1-horse Battleground, and we'll go 10-1-6 in the TriCash trifecta. The fourth race now, the 2:45, it is the Group 2 Lennox Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $133,000, racing for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 13 horses, a baker's dozen, going 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection, we're going to go with the number 12 horse here, Space Blues. We'll go 12-4-5 in the TriCash trifecta. 12-4-5 TriCash trifecta. Top selection, 12 horse Space Blues, 4-year-old colt by DeBowie. William Buick gets them out for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby. Most recently, they ran the horse on the 25th of June at Longchamp, 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Prix de la Mallarette Stakes and Prix de la Porte Mallarette Stakes, and the horse won by 1/4 lengths. Had speed from the rail there. He stalked early on, quickened up easily, beating the stablemate to buy home. It was a very good run. 2 back, he ran a Haydock, 7 furlongs in Listed Stakes on the 7th of June, and he won by neck there, and it wasn't the most impressive victories, but they got the job done. He stalked, he got the lead, and he held on to the victory. Off the break, I thought he needed the race there, and then before that, made on 7th of March, 6 furlongs in the Group 3 Nano Sheba Turf Sprint. He finished 7 by 9/4 lengths there. Wildman Jack for Doug O'Neill ran a terrific race there. This horse just wasn't getting any bit of the 6 straight furlongs there. This horse is going to like a 7 furlong trip. I think that's more in his wheelhouse. He was running his good races, though, at, the sprinting trip, or 6.5 furlong trip last year. He ran the Group 1 Prix Maurice de Guy Stakes at Deauville last August, and he ran a decent third place finish behind Advertising Brando. I didn't think that was a bad run, and then he placed behind Two Down Hot in the Prix Jean Prat, and then he nearly won the Jersey Stakes, where he ran an absolute cracker of a race. It was nothing bad about that run. If he runs that Jersey race today, I think he can win. At 3-1, let's take him. I think the stablemate to buy, you can't throw him out either. Frankie Dettori on for his old boss Godolphin here, and Charlie Appleby, so that would be kind of cool for him to get one for the old boss. But most recently, they took the horse to Haydock for a confidence builder race on 17th of July, 7 furlongs in conditions race, and he won by a half length. He should have been the favorite, but he sent off at 3-1. He got the job, quickened up easily. I don't think they got to the bottom of the horse. That was a very good, victory finally for him. 2 back, he ran in the Prix de la Porte de Mallarette at Longchamp, 7 furlongs, and he lost his stablemate, like I said, Space Blues, and he just couldn't get into it. And then at Haydock, again, he needed the race off the break. Also, he's drawn stupid wide, but he's back to his 7 furlong trip. He was running decently last year at the 7 furlong trip in the Challenge Stakes and the Park Stakes at Newmarket and Doncaster, respectively. Those races, he didn't run half bad at all. Another horse at 10-1, use him on your place pots. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets a good trip. Like I said, it would be cool for Frankie to win one for Godolphin again. But to recap my selection for the fourth, the 2:45 from Goodwood, it's the Group 2 Lennox. Let's take the 12 horse Space Blues as top selection. We'll also give kudos to the fours to buy. We'll go 12-4-5 in the TriCash trifecta. The fifth race now, the 3:15. It's the feature of the afternoon. It is the Group 1 Goodwood Cup. The Goodwood Cup Group 1 event, going for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $332,500. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Seven of them, can't speak now. 7 horses are going 3,200 meters or 2 miles on the turf course. My top selection here, we're going to go with the 5-horse Stradivarius. We'll go 5-3-4 in the TriCash trifecta. 5-3-4 TriCash trifecta. That's going to be the only real way to make money with this. But Stradivarius, this 6-year-old horse by Sea the Stars. Frankie Dettori's on this one for John Gosden. Most recently, they ran the horse 18th of June at Royal Ascot, 2.5 miles in the Group 1 Gold Cup. There was a little mystery with this horse that day because they weren't sure if he was going to handle the wet going, and my God, he handled the wet going and more. He won by 10, and he finally got, he out of all the Gold Cups he won, that was probably it was the easiest Gold Cup he won, and probably most impressive race of the lifetime. He got the job done, quickened up easily, nothing bad about that run. And the Coronation Cup 2-back, a mile and a half at Newmarket, John Gosden said he needed the race, and he did need the race. Also a shorter trip, he finished third by 5 lengths. He just could never, he quickened up a little bit, but nothing, he needed the race. The winner, Gaitha, went on to win next start out against, I believe, Enable in the Eclipse, but, and then Enable needed the race there and went on to win the King George very impressively last week. He needed the race there at Newmarket, and then before then, the British Champions Long Distance Cup at Ascot over the 2 miles. Finished second by a nose, and Q Garns ran a very game race to hold on. This horse just couldn't keep up late. At the very end of the tough campaign, he just, couldn't keep up. God, I can't speak. And then before that, he ran at Doncaster and Doncaster Cup, won by 1 3/4 lengths, got the job done, won at Lonsdale Cup very nicely, and won this race last year by neck. He's the kind of horse, when he gets the lead, he doesn't want to win by a lot, so he kind of pulls himself up. So Frankie had to bite his nails a little bit last year in this race, but he's going for the 4-peat or 3-peat in this race, and Frankie's going for the, I believe Frankie wasn't on one of the victories for this race. I believe in 2018, I think he was suspended because he was running one of those horses, Angel's Hideaway, at Newmarket, and interfered with a whole bunch of horses, so he was suspended for this meeting, so Andre Adazzini rode the horse. But, I think, like I said, other than that, I think the horse should really run well, so let's take him. But if he doesn't show up, I think a 12-1 Naif Road can really run a good race. 2-back, he lost to, Stradivarius in the Gold Cup, but his Cigar race before that, Newcastle, wasn't badly run. If he gets very quick round at 12-1, use him on your play spots, but Stradivarius is by miles the best horse in this race. So to recap my selection for the 5th, the 3:15 from Goodwood, it's the Group 1 Goodwood Cup. Let's take the 5-horse Stradivarius. I'll also give kudos to the 3-horse Naif Road as a price play, and we'll go 5-3-4 in the TriCash trifecta. Let's get to the 6th event now. The 6th race, the 3:45 from Goodwood, it is the Qatar Handicap. It's Class 2 Handicap, going for a purse $40,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rated 86-105. 11 horses are going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 7-horse Cat Dorsey. I'm going to go 7-3-2 in the TriCash trifecta. 7-3-2 TriCash trifecta. Top selection, 7-horse Cat Dorsey. 4-year-old Gitlin by Dandy Man. James Doyle gets them out for Tim Easterby. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of July at Doncaster, 5 furlongs in a Class 3 handicap, and he finished 9th by 4 3/4 lengths there. And he just, he showed a lot of form first off the break, but last time out, he really did not run at all. He hit the wall completely. Wasn't the day to win. Before that at Ascot in a Class 2 handicap during the Royal Meeting, the 6 furlong trip, he finished 11th by 6 3/4 lengths. And again, that he had a little bit an excuse that he really just couldn't keep up with the tougher horses. But first off the break at Newmarket, going 5 furlongs in Class 2 handicap, 6th of June, Guineas weekend, he finished 3rd by 2.5 lengths, and he stayed the trip well. I didn't think that was a half bad run. His 2019 form, especially that fall form, wasn't bad at all. He won his last start of the year at Cataract, going 5/8 very nicely. Placed in a very tough race at York before that, and then he won at Ripon very nicely. He is stepping up in class from those races slightly, but I think at 10-1 with James Doyle getting the booking of the ride, and last time out, Doyle, when he rode the horse, had a good run. I think at 10-1, this horse could find the winner's circle, so we'll use him here along with the number 3 horse, Final Venture. Pat Dobbs is on this one. Most recently in a Heritage Handicap at Ascot a few weeks ago, going 5 furlongs. He finished 5th by 3.5 lengths, and he hit the wall late. That was a very tough 5, and he just couldn't keep up. But before that, in a Listed Stakes at Doncaster, finishing 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths. Again, off the break, he needed the race. His races last summer, especially that Ascot race, can win this here today. At 7-1, we'll use him. And also, while we're here talking about him, The 2-horse Well Done Fox with Sylvester de Sousa. He's stepping down a major class from his last few, and wouldn't surprise me if he gets a good trip. So 12-1, let's use him. Very wide open race for your play spot, so I think you want to go deep in it. But to recap my selection for the 6 to 345 from Goodwood, it's the Qatar Handicap. We'll take as a top selection the 7-horse Count de Dorsey. We'll also give kudos to the 3-horse Final Venture and the 2-horse Well Done Fox. We'll go 7-3-2 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta, 7-3-2 in the play spot. Now the 7th race to 420, we're not going to look at this race. It's a very tough 2-year-old race, and I just can't back a horse in this race. My integrity can't back a horse in this race because it's just so random. But as a fan, we'll watch it, but not bet it. So we're gonna head over to the nightcap, the 8th race from Goodwood, the 455, which is the EBF Phillips Handicap. It's Class 3 Phillies Handicap, going for a purse $22,500. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Phillies mares only, which are EBF eligible, and horses rate $76.95. We have a field of a dozen horses going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. My top selection and my best bet of the day will go to the 3-horse Tulip Fields. We'll go 3-5-11 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 3-5-11 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection 3-horse Tulip Fields. This 3-year-old filly by Golden Horn. Joe Fanning gets the mount for Mark Johnston. Most recently, they ran the horse the 16th of July, which was last Thursday now, or 2 Thursdays ago, almost, at Hamilton up in Scotland. Mile 3/8 in the listed stakes, and he finished 3rd by 5 3/4 lengths there, and he kept going. He quickened up nicely. I thought it was a very good race going up north. 2 back at Sandown, a mile and a quarter in the Phillies Class 2 handicaps, finished 6 by 6 3/4 lengths there, and I think the ground maybe just was a little bit too fast. She never really got the good trip, but before that at Newmarket, a mile and a half in a Class 3 Phillies handicap, she won by 3, and quickened up. She was on the drive, but she was responding to the drive, kept going nicely, and then she won her seasonal reappearance over the mile and a quarter here at Goodwood, winning by 1.5 lengths. She got the job done. Wasn't the most flashy victories, but she got the job done. Other than that Sandown race, if you look at our most recent form, it hasn't been half bad. Here 10-1 run very well. Golden Horn definitely should get the mile and a half. Let's take her in a single to end off the card as my best bet of the day. So to recap my selection for the 8th, the 455 from Goodwood's the EBF Phillies Handicap, let's take the 3-horse Tulip Fields. We'll go 3-5-11 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. My best bet, this 3-horse Tulip Fields. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.